This is one of our most requested videos, and it's something I haven't done just because I haven't seen a lot of need for it, but it's an interesting topic, and I'd like to open it up. Vampires. A lot of you have written in saying that you were a vampire, and all sorts of nonsense. So let me give you a quick rundown of my knowledge of the cults of vampirism. The Illuminati at the highest levels are all vampires. It's part of the nature of the cult that they are part of. Now, I have personally, throughout my life, which has been marred with some very interesting occurrences and how I've gotten a lot of this knowledge, I have personally been invited into and have watched a number of different vampire ceremonies, some of them very legit, some of them not legit, throughout different cultures and different subcultures. I have been to Mexico and seen what they call a filth eater, which is a goddess that is connected with centipedes, with bats, with anything that eats the dead. And from my understanding, they were eating human flesh at that time. I have also been in and around cults from Haiti, like the Sacre Rouge, which is the Red Eye cults, and the Bizango cults, that one of our members who has passed was a Hungan Asogwe, which is the highest level voodoo priest in Haiti, initiated in Haiti, and connected with Quimbanda in Brazil, and some other Cuban-esque Afro magical religions where the arts of vampirism and shape-shifting are strongly associated together. Now, there is a werewolf cult as well. A werewolf cult primarily came to Haiti through the subjugation of the Haitian people by the French. The French got their werewolf cults from their Paleolithical folk religions that worshipped wolves. So you have a strong werewolf cult that comes out of Europe. You have a werewolf cult that comes out of Germany, which is mostly associated with Odin. Even the Greeks had werewolf cults that were associated with Apollo and Zeus, strangely. So you have this mixture of ideals and predatory associations coming together and hunting humans. Now, here's where it gets kind of tricky. Near every single piece of vampire-related icon and information has been purposely twisted to keep you completely unaware of what the real vampire cult is. The iconic symbols, such as this one, where it's a struggle for life and death and the biting of the throat and drinking of the loser's blood, is true. That is the idea and the symbolism that they use. Do they actually eat and drink human blood? The answer is yes, they do. But it is a byproduct of what they actually do, and not the actual act itself. Let me explain, because this is where it gets interesting. So, the oldest vampire cult that I personally know of, and Wendigo cult, actually, There is an Algonquin Indian that I know who has introduced me to the Wendigo cult, and this is very similar to a combination of vampiric and werewolf cult. It all basically is the same process. The oldest vampire cult that I know of comes from Spain. Now, this is just my own personal information and from what I've actually been involved in, have actually seen, and at one point